Okay, so in this screencast we're going to continue from where we left in the previous screencast, where we completely um, installed Fedora on our on our virtual hard disk. If you remember, towards the end when we rebooted after installation, we are still booting into the Fedora installer. Uh, so the reason for that was, if you remember, the boot order, which was set to first as the CD and then the hard disk. So we could do two things. We could either remove the image from here. Yeah, probably that will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this attachment, and that should do the trick. So I'm just going to start Fedora now. Great, so this is the boot menu for Fedora. I'm just going to click on, I'm just going to use my arrow keys to move to Fedora and press enter. So this is basically booting from the virtual hard disk. So this is installation that you just completed in the previous screencast. So that's the Fedora logo booting up. So, yep. Yeah, there are a few configuration steps that are still remaining, but that should be done rather quickly, and it shouldn't require a reboot. So you can just start off using Linux very soon. So it's coming. Okay, so a few more steps left. So okay, so let me just click on forward. This is the license information, so please have a read to see what you may be in for. Like, there are no restrictions to use copying or modifying the code, but obviously there are others, so you can just take a look at the URL given there. Just click forward. Okay, so we created a root user during the installation, but we also need to create a non-root user. So let's say I'm just going to create so my name. So this is the full name, this is not your username, by the way. So the username would be, let's say I want to give Gene. We'll select the add to administrators group, which will basically give you sudo rights. The password, so give something of your choice. As you can see, it's very weak, but so just give something stronger. And then I'm just going to click on forward. So remember, this is a username and this is just a display used for display at various places, but this is really the username that you're going to use for logging in. So let's click on forward. This is the NTP, just finish, and we should be done soon. Okay, I think we are done, so you should now see the login screen. Yep, that's the GNOME login screen, and as you can see, the username is the display name is shown here. So I'm just going to click on it and type in my password, press enter, or click on the sign in button, and we should have the Fedora desktop ready for our use now. Great, so this is the GNOME desktop, so you can see the various applications here. This is Firefox, this is the music rhythm player called RhythmBox. This is a photo management application called Shotwell. This is the LibreOffice Writer, the file manager, documents. To search for an application, you can just type in here. For example, if I want to open the terminal, just search for terminal. As you can see, it comes up here. I'm just going to click on it. and that's your terminal. The ls, you can type in your commands here. Okay, so I think that's okay. Let's just see a few more things. So for example, you have installed Linux. Now what? So for example, you could open your browser, you could access the internet. As you can see, it's already, so your internet connection is already set up for you automatically. So this is the Fedora project homepage. This is well, let's just search for, say, Fedora, and that should work. So your internet is up and running. You could so Fedora comes with obviously Python installed, the Python programming language interpreter. So you could just start Python from here. For example, say hello to hello Fedora. You can quit. Okay, so I think so of course, and you have like the yum, which is for installing and rather managing packages on Fedora. So for example, you can search for, say, the GCC or for the GNU-C compiler collection. So if you want to do a C programming, you could first find the GCC packages and then install it. Okay, so we'll get out of the Fedora desktop right now. So I think that was the scope, so to say, of this screencast, which is to get Fedora installed for you and get it up and running. So I think we have done that. So what you're going to do is we're just going to take a look at a few other things that VirtualBox allows you to configure about the VM. So so yeah, of course you can shut it down. So for example, okay, let's so if you remember, we allocated about 1 GB of RAM to Fedora VM, right? So let's just explore a few things here. So the top command gives you the process states, like number of processes running, the memory, and so if you see here, so this is the total memory in kilobytes. So this is roughly equal to 1 GB. So as you can see, this is the memory that Fedora has for running, and it's using, well, it's using quite a bit. Like it's almost nearly using pretty much, you know. So there's hardly about, say, 60,000 KB left. So that's not much. So as you can see, Firefox and GNOME shell is taking quite a bit of space, and of course, anyway. So okay, so let's just quit. So we can quit using the rather we can shut down the machine using the power of command. So I'm going to use a sudo. The sudo is for executing commands which might need more privileges than the normal user. So if you remember, we had during the creating the account, we had asked Fedora to add my user to the administrators group. So that's why I can. So if I now enter my normal password, which is my username's the Gene username's password, not the root password, it should find that I have the rights for shutting down the system, and as you can see, the system will now shut down. So yeah, so that's the system shutting down. Okay, so we're now back to VirtualBox Manager. So we're going to just take a quick look at a few other things. For example, like I told you, you could change the RAM that you wanted to allocate to the virtual machine later on if you needed to. So you can do that from the System tab. So this is where you can choose to allocate less RAM or more RAM, whichever is suitable for you. So you could just change that, press OK. Okay, so and there's other pretty well handy handy feature that VirtualBox has, which is to the create shortcut on desktop. So if you click on this, it will create a shortcut of the Fedora 18 desktop here, on the desktop Fedora 18 virtual machine here. So if you click on this, the Fedora 18 virtual machine automatically start instead of giving you this screen. So that can be handy. And well, there are a number of other features, like I told you in the first screencast of this series, and which you can all take a look from the user manual. So well, that concludes this three-part series of installing VirtualBox on Windows 7 and then installing Fedora on VirtualBox, Fedora 18 on VirtualBox. So I hope you enjoyed this screencasts and found it useful. Till the next screencast, bye bye.